Happy Sunday. Let's get into the space of receiving.
In the sacred place where all is well. We are here together. We celebrate this specialness, this sacredness, these moments of being, of touching, feeling, knowing. For this service, this celebration is blessed. It has the beautiful charisma of each one here, sharing the bountiful presence of life as we experience it. And we know our life is one life with God. And so it is.
So it is.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So good to be here. I'm the interim minister for a very brief time, a couple more days for the center, and I'm so excited that Almost Reverend Charlene Kusner is stepping in as your spiritual director. And there she is. Why don't you just stand up and let's love you for a second. I got tears in my eyes thinking about you when I was driving up here today.
Oh.
Because the call to ministry is such a special thing. And thank you for answering the call. Okay, I'm going to quit. Breathing now. So welcome. We are an inclusive, a welcoming community, centered in the love of the divine, knowing that there's a divine essence in the nature in each one of us, uniquely expressing, and that all are welcome here. We seek to see that presence and look through the eyes of love at everyone here in this community, and as we go out into the world, and it shifts things, doesn't it? It's transformative. So it's in the spirit of love and light that I welcome here today, and especially those of you online. Would you like to just turn that around and let's wave to our online host today?
Yay!
It's Laura. So.
Hi, Laura.
Thank you very much. That was quick. They might have gotten dizzy on that. Thank you, Zach. That's great. Big thank you to Zach and Nate for doing our tech and setup. They do a good job. It's a wonderful thing. So right now, I'd like you to stand, if you wish, and join in our community song, which is "You Are the Light."
All right. We're going to go around about 5 times on this lyrics right here. I'm going to hear your voices, yeah? All right. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love, peace. You are the light of peace. I am the light of peace. joy. You are the light of joy. I am the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. Hope. You are the light of hope. I am the light of hope. You are the light, I am the light. We are the light of hope. Peace. You are the light of peace. I am the light of peace. You are the light, I am the light. We are the light of peace. Love one more time. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love.
So it's that precious time of morning when we take some time to be grateful, our moment of gratitude, something we can do anytime, anywhere. Standing at the line at the grocery store, you could just stop, center yourself, and be grateful, and it shifts the day. Your smile lights up the world when you take a moment to do this. In fact, your smile lights up the world no matter where or what, right? So let's just take a moment, and because this month has been about the hero's journey, which starts at home and ends at home, I want you to just take a moment, if you wish, close your eyes, take a breath, and think about your journey. Your journey through life and your home. And just notice what you're grateful for. What are you thankful for? This path has brought you to who you are, who I am. So breathe that gratitude into your heart. Let it grow, let it expand. Rest in the warmth and love of it. Feels so good. And when you're ready, just gently begin to bring your awareness back to this moment. This time, open your eyes, if you close them. And practice this whenever you want. It's a wonderful thing. And now we have a reading by Jeanne Curry, our practitioner of the day, and she's going to also share the New Minister Vision.
So the reading today is from this incredible book, 60 Meditations for a Mindful Life by Ernest Holmes. I perceive the spirit of wholeness, the union of all life. Deep within my being, I know that I am one with all people, all ages, all events. I am one with the infinite and the eternal. I am one with all the goodness there is, one with all power, and one with the only presence, the presence of God in me. In everyone I meet, I perceive this union. I meet it with joy. I am accepted by it, and even as I accept it, I cannot reject myself, nor can I be rejected by myself. There is only one self. That self is God, the eternal self. I am one with this self, one with love, one with joy, one with friendship. The oneness peoples my world with the loving attention of innumerable friends, with every human manifestation of the divine reality. I appreciate this friend of mine, whom I meet in innumerable forms. Wherever I go, I will meet God. Wherever I look, I will see God. I am held in the embrace of the eternal presence. Every thought of disillusion, separation, or unhappiness is forever gone from my mind. Love, joy, and companionship are permanently established in my experience.
Well, I guess I'm going to share our vision, which I believe is up on the top. Just have a seat, Jeanne. Sorry today. It's all good. So will you just join me, if you wish, in reading this vision? So our new minister vision, purpose, wholeness. Our vision, a new spiritual leader for our energetic, growing, and abundant community. Our new minister is a dynamic speaker and facilitator who gives inspiring messages from the heart. Our new minister empowers leaders within the community and coordinates efforts to be efficient. Our new minister is fiscally knowledgeable, responsible, and ethical. Our new minister has the experience and the ability to inspire a diverse community. Our new minister is relatable, vulnerable, reflective, and growth-minded. Our new minister is confident, committed, kind, and communicates clearly with compassion. Did you notice the beautiful alliteration there? That's great. Yeah, that's good. All right, we have some music now. Spirit is in This Place by Denise Rosier with our beloved Joanna and Mike.
Thank you. Just looking out here at this song, really, you can really feel this song. I hope you did too. Affirm our life as sacred.
guest speaker. Reverend Jeanne Phillips has been with us before a few times. But, we don't always give a little bio. We did when she first started coming, but we've kind of just let her come up and talk. I thought I'd just do a brief bio, let you know a little more about her, which you may already know. So she's been a minister since 2013. She is a staff minister at Vision Center for Spiritual Living in San Diego. She leads the compassionate care ministry there. She has also served for 15 years as a hospice chaplain, and her greatest desire is to be of service and to be a healing presence in the world. So welcome back, Reverend Jeanne Phillips.
And it's a special day, too. So nice to be back. Thank you. It's, happy Thanksgiving, right? But, we're still in the Thanksgiving weekend, so I hope you all had a wonderful, gratitude-filled day on Thursday. I know that I did. And in fact, last week we talked about gratitude. Right? You had the practitioner speaking. Great job. But the theme this month is living the everyday wonder of home. Living the everyday wonder of home, right? And we've been using the archetype of the hero's journey to explore that theme. As Reverend Sharon said, a journey that begins and ends at home. It's a sacred story that can be found in tales and fables and movies, right? That for decades, and it's also a story that was found in our own lives. Joseph Campbell identifies three distinct parts of the hero's journey. First, there's the call, right? The call to leave the comfort of the known. Next comes the journey, which is filled with obstacles and hardships and adventure and discovery. And then there's the return home with new wisdom and a deeper understanding. And so what we know is that the hero's journey is the call of our soul, right? Our true self, our spiritual journey that's always seeking that deeper wisdom, that deeper understanding. And so today I want to look at the return of the hero which is us, yes, and the wisdom that we gain from our journey as we come home. So coming home. So you with me?
Yes.
Ready to take the journey?
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, I know how you all love stories, right? And I've got a great one for you. But before I get to that, I wanted to look at the power of story and just how prevalent and important it is in our lives. We have all kinds of stories that we find. Some are factual, some are make-believe, some are fill in the blank. Stories about ourselves, stories about other people. I don't know about you, but I can make up whole stories about the person standing in line next to me in the grocery store. Sometimes it's not a pretty story. They're using coupons. I'm in a hurry. Or a Facebook post, right? Where it's like, oh, you can just draw the whole story of this person. So stories are absolutely a part of our life. Which, of course, raises the question of why. Right? Why do we think in terms of stories? And more importantly, what do we gain from the stories that we tell ourselves? Well, stories give us meaning. Meaning to what we see around us, to see it and about the world. We really are meaning-making machines. That's, our brain. That's what we do. We look for meaning. And stories help us do that. They help us to understand our place in the world and who and where, what we are. And so they help shape who we are. and what we believe is true about the world. And so, depending on our perspective and also our willingness to grow, the stories that we tell, the experiences that we have, can be viewed as being a victim or a story of being a hero. Right? It's the story we tell ourselves about what happens that makes the difference between us. So, and I think the main thing here is to remember we're the author. Right? We're the author of the stories. We are the final authority. And so taking responsibility for our individual stories, that's how we're able to learn and to grow and to forgive and to find compassion and most importantly, to move into a brighter future. Right? So that really is the hero's journey that we're talking about. It's the journey to find out why we're here. What's ours to do? Our larger purpose. So here's the story. It's a fable, really, and it offers a chance to see ourselves and the journey that we might be on as we come home. Right? It comes from Thailand, and it's called The Beggar and the Buddha. It's somewhat lengthy, so kind of settle in. It's story time, right? So, there once was a beggar, a young man who was homeless, and who spent his days trying to gather food. But he noticed that every night his extra food would disappear. Well, one day he discovered a mouse was taking the food at night. And he asked him, why are you stealing from me? I'm a homeless beggar. You can steal from people who are far richer than me, and it won't have any effect on them. And the mouse answered, I'm simply fulfilling your fate. You see, it's your destiny that you can only have 8 items in your possession. No matter how much you beg, no matter how much you gather, 8 items is all you're able to have. And the homeless man is stunned by this news, right? And he says, well, why me? Why is that my destiny? And the mouse says, I don't know. Maybe you should go ask the Buddha. And so the homeless man went on a journey to ask the Buddha about his destiny. And the story begins, right? So, little sidebar, I just love how this story starts. You know, this poor homeless man has just been told that it's his destiny to be poor and harmless, or homeless for the rest of his life, right? To live a life limited to 8 items, right? And I look at that and I think, how can I relate to that? And it's pretty clear. I mean, I can definitely think of times in my life when I have felt the victim, right? Why me, right? And wondered, is this my fate, my destiny, right? That I will never have more than I currently have. You know, believing in limitation that keeps us in that state of struggle. Believing there isn't enough, or I'm not enough, right? So maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys have never felt that. And I think the other thing is, I think the mouse is his teacher. Maybe like a practitioner in a bit. Because the mouse gives voice to hidden beliefs that the young man may have about his life. The mouse says it's your destiny. You can't expect anything more. And really what he's doing is reflecting back, right? Mirroring back the young man's beliefs. But here's where the story turns. Hearing this declaration of his destiny, the young man wakes up and he goes, wait, why? Why should this be? And he begins to question the validity. Why is this my destiny? Or maybe, why do I believe that? There must be a larger purpose to my life than this simple survival. Again, I can relate, right? The times in my life when I questioned, is this all there is? Really? I can't expect anything more? And for me, it was the practitioners who helped reflect back, right? Some of the beliefs that I was holding about my life. Beliefs that were holding me back. They reminded me that there's a larger life that wants to be lived and expressed. Call it God or Spirit. It's that creative urge of the divine self, of the true self, that's always calling us forward. So the young man kind of catches that call just a little bit and begins to question his beliefs and seek an answer to his purpose. And so the journey begins. So the first night, he ended up at a house owned by a wealthy family. They asked him why he was traveling so late, and he answered, "Well, I have a question for the Buddha, and tomorrow I'll be on my way to see him." And the father then asked, Can we give you a question to ask the Buddha? We have a 16-year-old daughter who can't speak, and we want to know what we have to do to have her speak." And the homeless man said, "Well, of course I'll ask that question for you." And in gratitude, the family gave him shelter for the night. The next morning, he continued his journey and came upon a great mountain range that he needed to cross. He climbed up the first mountain, and there he met a wizard. And the wizard asked him where he was going and why he needed to cross the mountain. And the young man said, I'm going to ask the Buddha a question about my destiny." And the wizard said, "Would you please ask him a question for me? I've been trying to get to heaven for 1,000 years, and according to my teaching, I should be able to go to heaven now. Can you ask the Buddha what I have to do to get to heaven?" And the young man agreed, "Of course I'll ask a question for you." And the wizard, in gratitude, uses his staff to fly them across the mountain range. As the young man continues on his journey, he runs into his last obstacle, a river that he cannot cross. But he meets a giant turtle, who asks the young man where he's going. "I'm going to see the Buddha. I'm going to go ask a question about my destiny." And the turtle says, "Would you ask a question for me? I've been trying to become a dragon for 500 years. And according to my teaching, I should have become a dragon by now. Can you please ask the Buddha, what do I have to do to become a dragon?" So the young man agreed, "Of course I'll ask a question for you." And in gratitude, the turtle takes them across the river. So what I love about this part of the story is how the young man just continues to say yes to the requests asked of him. Right? I'd be happy to ask your question for you. And it reminds me of how important it is to be open, for us to be open to the unknown as we travel our spiritual journey, right? Our path to discover our purpose. What I found is the more often that I say yes, the more things just seem to flow. I think it's because I'm trusting a larger vision than just me. And even if I can't see all the pieces or the bend in the road, there's that trust. And the more we say yes, the more synchronicities seem to appear. The perfect people seem to come forward and help to guide us and help us to cross the mountains and the wide rivers, right? I see some nods. We can relate, yes, yeah. Think of a time in your life when you've summoned up your courage, stepping forward in faith, and we're met by these surprising coincidences, right? That's what we call them, coincidences. The perfect teachers show up. The perfect things fall into place. Yeah. I think that's how we know that we are on the right track, when we are following our spiritual journey. So, back to our story. The beggar finally reaches the temple and finds a large crowd gathered around the Buddha. And the Buddha announces, "I will answer 3 questions of everyone here, but only 3 questions." And the young man's torn. He has 4 questions now, right? What should he do? He thinks about the turtle, who's been living for 500 years trying to become a dragon. He thinks of the wizard, who's been living for 1,000 years trying to get to heaven. And the young girl, who is going to live her whole life without being able to speak. And then he looks at himself and he thinks, I'm a homeless beggar. I can always just go home and continue begging. So, quick sideline here. This is the moment of decision, right, that is found in every hero's journey, and the moment of greater perspective. For the beggar, he sees the pain and the problems of others are greater than his, and he's able to then see his life with a different lens. The lens of love, the lens of care. And with that, he stops worrying about what he doesn't have and begins appreciating what he does have. He may continue to be a homeless beggar, but that's only what the world sees. He now recognizes that he has a deeper inherent value, right? He sees his true self and the preciousness of that. Again, a lesson for us. How often do we get caught up in our day-to-day struggles, and we forget to give thanks for the gift of the life that we have, the full life that we have, for our past and what it has brought us to today. So there's acceptance and gratitude as the beggar decides he will ask the questions of the turtle and the wizard and the young girl as his 3 questions. And after meeting with the Buddha, he bows and sets off to share the answers on his way back home. So he reunites with the turtle and he tells him, okay, here's what the Buddha says. He says, you've been unwilling to leave the shell. And as long as you won't leave its comfort, you'll never become a dragon. And the turtle nods at the wisdom, and slowly he takes off his shell. And inside it are dozens of priceless pearls from the deepest depths of the ocean that he had collected throughout his life. And he gives the pearls to the young man, saying, thanks, I don't need these anymore because I'm a dragon. And he flies away. Next, the young man reunites with the wizard at the top of the mountain. And he tells him, okay, here's what the Buddha said. You never put down your staff, and it acts as an anchor keeping you from heaven. The wizard nods at the wisdom and hands the staff to the young man, and with thanks, ascends to heaven. So the young man now has the wealth from the turtle and the power from the wizard, and he has one more stop on his journey home. He goes back to the family that gave him the shelter and tells them, well, here's what the Buddha said. Your daughter will be able to speak when she meets her soulmate. Right? And at that moment, the daughter comes downstairs. And in a clear, beautiful voice, she says, aren't you the man who was here last week? So the young girl and the homeless beggar, the once homeless beggar, had found their soulmates and their destiny in each other. The end. Very happy ending, right? We love that. We love happy ending stories. But you know that the story again just carries so many lessons in it and so many gifts of that coming home. The homeless beggar set out on his hero's journey, overcoming obstacles and hardships, and returned home with power and treasure and love, right? He was a changed man. And, you know, our own spiritual journey offers those same gifts. As we learn from our teachers and the experiences and the blessings that we find along our path. Through the journey, the young man recognizes that life is a gift that's meant to be lived with purpose, to serve a greater good. Right? Joseph Campbell says, when we quit thinking primarily about ourselves and our own self-preservation, we undergo a truly heroic transformation of consciousness. When we quit thinking primarily about ourselves and our own self-preservation, we undergo a truly heroic transformation of consciousness. And isn't that what we seek? Isn't that what we're here for? A heroic transformation of consciousness. And like the story, if you're willing to say yes, to lend a hand to someone struggling, willing to step beyond your self-preservation, it can change the course of your life, right? Your very destiny. And the other thing is, what we know is Spirit responds in ways we never would have imagined. Just like reaching the end of that story from where it began. Never imagined that. The other lesson in the story is that if we want to become a dragon or ascend to heaven or whatever our ideal vision is, we must leave behind that which makes us most comfortable and to feel most safe. Right? We have to leave our comfort zone, just like the turtle did, and let go of the staff that keeps us anchored to the past, like the wizard. Joseph Campbell says, we must be willing to let go of the life that we had planned so as to have the life that's waiting for us. We must be willing to let go of the life that we had planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. And, you know, there is so much life waiting for us, right? The divine life that's always calling us. Life is eternally filled with possibilities. Possibilities for the new, for the better, for the greater expression of who and what we are. That's the truth. As Ernest Holmes reminds us, our opportunities are unlimited. There is a divine urge to express that permeates and fills all space and all people. Our opportunities are unlimited. There's a divine urge to express that permeates and fills all space and all people. You know, that divine urge is there, just naturally, always. And our opportunities to express it are absolutely unlimited. So, here's my invitation to you. This week, take some time to just consider the story that you're creating for yourself. Where are you on your hero's journey, your spiritual path? What are the gifts that you have been gathered, that have been gathered along your path? And who are your teachers and guides and helpers along the way? And who are you helping as you walk that path? Remember, there is a greater life always, always calling you forward, always welcoming you home. Thank you very much.
very good. I heard that comment. That was very good. Reverend Jeanne. And now we have some music. Dream a Little Dream with Joanna.
There we go. They always fight over the frequency. Sitting there, I got to see this beautifulness. It's so great. It just made me think of you sailing off into the sunset. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. And I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just stay in this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Say, dream a little dream of me.
I'm dreaming. And I'm off into the sunset. I love that. Okay, who got that? I want to know. Who got that? No, I mean, who got this? Who? Janie got that. Okay, thank you, Janie. Here you are.
Actually, Ted did.
I thought Ted did. Okay, Janie played with it and made it sound right. And thank you, Ted, because it is stunning. It's so fun to sit back there and look at that. Wow. Yeah. Ted was looking for one, and he had looked at several and sent them off, but I didn't know we ended up with this. It's fabulous. Thank you, Ted. All right, so guess what time it is? My favorite time. It's giving time. It's time to just recognize the bounty, the abundance, and the amazing things we do by giving our gifts, especially to this community that does support us, feed us spiritually, because you make what we do here possible. We create this opportunity for healing, for recognizing the divine, for moving into a greater sense of wholeness, for going through the hero's journey, those difficulties in life, and finding all the support, assistance, abundance along the way, and coming back enriched. And so that hero's journey isn't over one time. Did you notice that? There's always another call, isn't there? There's another call to something greater. So I just want to take a moment to thank you for your financial support. If you're online, that you can just go to our website and csltv.org and click on the donate button. Of course, you can always send a check to our office. Our address is on the website as well. And so I'm just going to take a moment, whatever way you've given, if you're holding a gift today, if you've already given by auto-tithing or whatever, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so we take a moment to just take a breath and bless these gifts, knowing that we are each a channel of giving and receiving. And that as we give, prosperity and abundance flow right back to us. And we know the universe is unfolding in amazing ways. That we are bringing light and love to all those who are searching for it. And so as we bless these gifts, we know truly they are returned to the givers, pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing. We prosper because we are in the magnificent flow of the universe. And so it is. Will you join me in our affirmation today? Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, all that I receive. I am prosperous now. And now my favorite song. Oh, I forgot to ask the ushers to come forward. Come on down. You know, I just move into the giving thing. So I want to thank Holly and Vernon for ushering today and everyone who makes this service possible. Thank you so much. And so now, the song, I'm so grateful. Go for it.
Gratitude, Lord. Gratitude behind me. Gratitude to the left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude with me. Gratitude all around me. And I'm so grateful, yes. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful.
I'm still thinking gratitude above me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. Thank you for that. Alrighty. So we have some announcements. Lots of announcements today. December 4th, Jeanne Curry, who was our practitioner of service today, has the magic touch. She'll be facilitating a healing touch workshop. She says she will empower us to activate the innate wisdom of the body to restore its self-harmony and balance. That's next Sunday from 12:30 to 2:30. The suggested love offering is $35, and you can sign up at the activities table. This is the second, this is the third week, I think, of Change for Good, our Change for Good fundraiser. So if you have cash sitting around the house, you know, we had a huge basket. I've already taken a jar to another church, and I took a jar today here. So gather up your change, throw it in. You won't believe that bucket. It's so heavy. I don't know. We're going to need a dolly to get it out of here, and maybe 4 people to lift it to take it. Or maybe we do it a little bit at a time. My little jar was heavy. It was shocking. So bring your change for good. Let's see. One more week we're going to be doing that. This holiday season, the men's ministry, the Band of Brothers, is inviting us to bring canned goods and non-perishable food items to the center, and we have a lot that came in today. Some came in last week too. Every Sunday through December the 18th. We will be donating them to the Community Mission of Hope that serves this community. Also, we have just lots of good outreach into the community going on right now in our sister circle, our Sisters in Spirit, which is the women's ministry here, is collecting cash donations and gift cards for the holidays for Michelle's Place. Michelle's Place provides free support and resources for families affected by cancer. And I know that some of them struggle because maybe they aren't working anymore and there can be financial challenges, so your support. So bring your donations to the office on Sundays or to the next meeting of the Sisters in Spirit, which will be Thursday, December the 8th at Journey's Restaurant. Because of the holidays, they usually meet on the third Thursday, but in the month of December, they're meeting on the second Wednesday. So go have breakfast. Thursday. I said Wednesday, didn't I? Thursday. Second Thursday of the month. Well, that's because I was looking ahead and the men's ministry meets on Wednesdays. Got to keep this all straight. So this week, they're meeting on Zoom at 9 a.m. and also 7 p.m. Reverend Michael Summers Where are you? There he is. He's the leader of our men's band of brothers. Thank you, Michael, and thank you to all of you men who participate. That can be such a rich thing, both the women's group and the men's group. We also have a book study meeting still at 10 a.m. on Wednesdays on Zoom. Their current book is Happy for No Reason by Marcy Shimoff. If you'd like to join the group, see Ann Woodward or Julie. Julie's here today, right here, to get the Zoom link. I know we have the Zoom link for the men's ministry in our newsletter. If you're new or forgot to ask, is anybody here for the first time and you're willing to say, hey, hi. Okay, well, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, it's great, and it has that Zoom link. So sign up outside. There's a book for that. Let's see. Join us in the social hall after service for a brunch to celebrate my retirement. Yay! So it says on there that the choir's rehearsing, but I talked to Joanne and she says, I think we should just go eat and celebrate. So I think the choir's going to pass this week, but come back next Sunday after service, getting ready for our holiday service in December. I'd like to invite our practitioners to come on up on stage. You know, we have a prayer box in the back. We have amazing practitioners in the center. They are power prayers, and they're here for you. If there's anything going on in your life that you'd like to have changed, you have a couple options. You have 3 options. One is you can fill out a prayer request, put it in the box. We all receive a copy of your prayer request and pray for you. Second thing is some of them will be sitting out here in a chair with another chair available. Go sit with one of them and ask for a 1-minute miracle. They'll say, what do you want? You tell them. They do a powerful spiritual mind treatment, which is treating your mind and the world spiritually, which will shift everything. And you'll go away feeling lighter, better, knowing it's already done. Wow, somebody should take a picture of them. They're gorgeous. Okay, let's see. So now we're going to sing I Release, I Let Go. I like them up here so you can see them. They're going to sing. This is like part of it.
We're doing something else. Together.
So, there's a little special song that Jeanne wrote and had been given to us to do, so bear with us. A bit of an SNL skit, I guess.
Right. The words are on the screen.
And when it says sing along, that's your cue. Okay? Rev Sharon planned to retire and travel some to boot. To start her day any old way would really be a hoot. She said, yo ho, retired life for me. Then she got the call from CSL TV. Her plan she put on hold to help us navigate rough seas. Yo ho, please stay out with me. Yo ho, the blessings for me. Share the treasures, her gifts they overflow. The riches of her soul steered us much wisdom. Yo ho! What a blessing for me. It's time for her to set her sail, retiring finally. We sing along with her in utter joy and glee. Yo ho, retired life for me. Yo ho, retired life for me. And yo ho, retired life for she.
We so appreciate you, Reverend Sharon. And you have come to our aid not once, but twice. And you have just brought so much love and given us the encouragement we need to move forward. We know that right and perfect is happening right now. Thank you so much for what you've given us. And from the board and from the congregation, we have a special gift for you. Cecilia will bring it up. We want you to have something to take with you so you'll remember us all the time.
How could I forget you?
We are forgettable. It's so true.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now we're gonna do the There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was there. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling doesn't make it through another day. You have to let it go. And is this what you have to say? I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit from my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Say, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And if you'll just repeat these words after me, something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
It is this thing called joy.
It is this